Alright, Game Changers, welcome back to another video here today. One of the stupidest decisions that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is making is getting rid of looping score streaks. This is one of the things that I really wanted to have in Black Ops 6. That was actually what I was looking forward to having in this game. Regardless if the kill streaks or score streaks, whatever, are good or not, if they're able to loop, that means that you're a skilled player, and that should be rewarded. But for some reason or the other, one of the developers came out and said in a Call of Duty podcast that they will not be looping.
We're going back to just a traditional score streak system. Score will reset on death. Right now, score streaks do not loop. That was something we've talked about quite a bit, and really the goal there is we want to reward players in a single life fairly with high-end rewards or low-end, depending on your selection. But we really want to avoid score streak spam. That's something I personally just really don't like. I know a lot of players don't like it.
Now, this is absolutely disappointing, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of people in the community are in an uproar regarding this, as they should be, myself included, obviously. This is something that I just don't get. Why do they not want the good players to be rewarded? Why do they keep insisting on rewarding bad players? You know, one of the reasons why Call of Duty back in the day was so much better was they had looping kill streaks or score streaks. You could continue to get score streaks as long as you kept up your streak, as long as you didn't die, as long as you got all the points and you kept being rewarded for doing well in the game. But for some reason or the other, these guys want to keep protecting the noobs. The guy said the goal here is to reward players in a single life fairly with high-end rewards or low-end rewards depending on their selection. He said he wants to really avoid score streak spam, and that's personally something that he doesn't really like. And he also mentions that I know a lot of players don't like it either. Who is a lot of players? Because I know the majority of community actually like the idea of being able to be rewarded for staying on a streak. I mean, the amount of people who can actually loop their streaks in a single life is very likely small. Not a lot of people can do that. And it's really a core part of why Black Ops 2 score streaks were so good. So you're concerned with score streak spam. You do know that mid-match you can change your class to shoot these streaks down. Like, why are you taking that away? You could get rid of those streaks. It's not like once you choose a class or a loadout, you have to stick with that loadout for the rest of the match. There's not alternatives to shooting down streaks. Like, what's your deal? Why just limit the score streak to one life? I don't understand this concept. And I feel like we really should let these developers know how disappointed we are, and we want the kill streaks and score streaks to actually loop. And honestly, why does it matter? It matters because it's the pinnacle of skill and achievement in Call of Duty. Like, that is one thing that sets Call of Duty apart from other games. It's achieving a high level score streak and looping it, which not only requires great individual performance, but also a deep understanding of the game's mechanics and strategy. It's just a feature that rewards the most dedicated and skilled players, allowing us to dominate and turn even the tide of the match. Like, for example, if you're doing really well on the enemy team, on your team, and the other team is completely dominating you guys, you can individually do better by going on this streak, getting these score streaks and looping them to turn the tide of that battle and eventually win. Like, it gives you a leverage of sorts to be able to overcome a losing streak or losing in that game. So the thrill of that also, in addition to helping you turn that tide in multiple score streaks in a single game, it's unique and exhilarating that a lot of people really love. So all of these factors are why looping score streaks matter. And these guys here argue that it will create a more balanced and fair gameplay experience by not looping them. It's also preventing skilled players from dominating matches, giving less experienced players a better chance to compete. I mean, enough of that nonsense, man. They think that encouraging players to focus more on team objectives rather than chasing high scores is what we all want and what we should be aiming for. Like, this is not the Call of Duty community's just honest desire. That's not why we play Call of Duty, okay? There are players playing the objective as well as getting high score streaks. And you know why this is so impactful on gameplay? It's because without the ability to loop score streaks, a lot of us will feel less incentivized to push ourselves to achieve high scores. The fun part of Call of Duty is chaining these multiple score streaks together and getting rewarded for that. And I already know there's gonna be people out there who are gonna say that the objective is just to win the game. Forget about the score streaks, forget about looping them and all that stuff. You should just be focused on winning. And yes, duh, that's obvious. Of course you're gonna be focused on winning, but at the same time, getting these score streaks and having them loop is a skill issue for people who cannot get or achieve them. Reward your players who are able to maintain that and able to achieve multiple score streaks. That's what made Call of Duty so fun in the first place. And that is unique to Call of Duty. So why take that away from good players? If you're not good enough to be able to get looping score streaks, then get better. It's a skill issue. Don't punish players for not being able to achieve that. And stop protecting noobs. Stop worrying about score streak spam. Like, get out of the lobby. Yeah, leave out of the lobby if you're worried about score streak spam. Okay? Level the playing field. If you're worried about score streak spam, shoot them down. Switch to a loadout where you can shoot down these score streaks. Okay? Stop worrying about players who are able to achieve them. Let them have their fun. Stop limiting that. This is what I hate about these developers and directors and whoever that are so worried about the spam. Like, honestly, if you're not good enough to be able to handle that, then stop playing Call of Duty altogether or just leave that match and move on to the next one. Stop making it less fun for us who are able to achieve that. That just shows that these players who are not able to handle that are not able to handle good players. That's why these clowns keep skill-based matchmaking and engagement optimized matchmaking in the game. Honestly, that's the reason why. Because they themselves cannot handle it. They don't care about the community. They say that the community doesn't want this, but in turn, it's really them. I really feel like it's the developers and these directors that are really not taking into consideration what the community actually feels and wants. And this is why I feel like XDefiance developers are doing a much better job in listening to the community. And this is what I hate. They need to change the whole environment and landscape of the developers and their mindsets when it comes to this whole notion that the noobs, we need to protect them at all costs. Prevent players, good players, from doing well. We need to prevent them from going on these looping score streaks and preventing lobby complete breakdowns and people from leaving and all that stuff. We want it fair for everybody. Like, dude, get out of here with that mindset. We had it so good back in the day, and this toxic mindset or this limiting mindset that these guys have nowadays of wanting to protect the worst players because we want to protect the casuals and not reward the good players or the players who have been playing Call of Duty for a long period of time, who are dedicated, loyal fans to the franchise, is just nonsense. It's pure nonsense and it needs to be eliminated. I mean, honestly, guys, I am fed up with this mindset and it just needs to go. So what we honestly need to do and should do is tweet at these developers and directors and let them know that we are not okay with this. We don't like this. And even during the beta, they said they will respond to feedback or take in all the feedback. This is what we need to argue. We want looping score streaks in Call of Duty, point blank, period. Because we are not happy with this decision. And just because they think and they personally don't like the score streak spam doesn't mean that the community feels the exact same way, which allows them to reconsider and reverse that decision. Because if we don't speak up, they won't change anything. I mean, I thought Infinity Ward were the ones that don't listen to the community, but let's put Treyarch to the test. If they actually will listen to the community feedback, and if we get enough people advocating for looping score streaks, they might just put it into the game. But if they don't put it into the game, even if we have an overwhelming amount of people and voices saying that we should put it into the game, we will know right off the bat then that Treyarch also doesn't listen to the community, and they're being just as stubborn as Infinity Ward. So let's see if Treyarch will actually listen. But what do you guys think? I think personally that we need to keep looping score streaks in the game. It just makes it a lot more fun and exciting, and it rewards players for playing and doing well. But these guys don't seem to think the same thing. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload a video. Now with that being said, this is GCP signing off.
UAV active. Good work. Thank you.